Okay, Tribe, how you guys doing? We are back from winter break. We have Empire, we have Star. I wasn't reviewing Star before the break. I may or may not pick it up now, but I was reviewing Empire, which I kind of want to drop. But let's go. Let's just go and talk about it. Okay, is it me? Were y'all feeling some kind of ways seeing Jamal? Now, me personally, I'm still holding on. I know I'm probably one of the only people in the United States that's still holding on that this man ain't guilty, but was it weird for y'all? It was kind of weird for me. But anyway, so we pick up where we left off with Lucius, them finding out about Lucius having this child. And, Cookie is Cookie. Cookie is she's feeling it, but she's in damage control mode. Like, that's what she does. She gets into, how we going to fix this. And her biggest thing is, forget about you and your little love child right now. They are out here thinking that you were data mining and you and Becky ass about to go to jail. Or at the very least lose the faith of the people. And, we broke. And, we knocking on Broke's door. So, let's get this worked out first. And we worry about your little love child later. So, of course, they do what they do. They have their little family meeting and they figure out who's going to do what. And poor little Bigfoot baby talking about that everybody else got a job. He talking about something. What y'all want me to do? Lucius talking about something. You just go make a hit song. You just go in the studio. That's what you do. I said, damn. They ain't asked him to go. Because they asked Jamal to talk to Kai. Because, Kai wrote the story. So find out who his people were, like where he got his sources from, so we can try to, backtrack those sources. And, of course, Andre is going to do what Andre does and, try to get the information and break down the data and figure out, everybody got a job except for poor little Bigfoot, Hakeem. And Hakeem was just like, what y'all want me to do? Just make a song. Just make a song. And then him and old girl, the ballerina, they end up getting into it, and she lays him out talking about something. Why don't you go do something new instead of making another remix to drip drip, drip drop, drippity drippity drip drop? She was like, do something, go outside your comfort zone. And he ends up showing up with a guy who's doing a new type of dance. It's like a ballet with a hip hop type feel to it. And they end up, so I'm like, okay, that's going to be his new boo. Because the way they kind of button heads, y'all know how that go. Next thing you know, 2 episodes from now, they're going to be sleeping together. And then his baby mama going to be mad. And that's going to be a whole nother conflict. But anyway, that's down the line. So Becky is depressed. Jamal is depressed because Jamal's boyfriend is like, look, I don't know if I could be a part of this little junior mafia thing y'all got going on here. Like, I ain't trying to be alliance if being alliance means that, we doing criminal activities and we, shaking people down or whatever. And Jamal was like, look, if you don't care about me and you don't care about my family, at least help out Becky. Becky didn't have nothing to do with this. Becky's not guilty. Try to help Becky out. So he agrees to work to try to help them out. So he takes Lucius and Andre to his source. And they end up dangling old boy out the window, Big Red style, shout out to the 5 heartbeats. And of course, Kai is like, oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God. And, he lets Jamal know, like, look, I ain't signed up for all of this. And Jamal was like, well, thank you for helping out my family. He was like, did they tell you what they did? And Jamal was like, what they do? Did they tell you that they hung that man out the window and like dangled him by his legs? I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. That was later on in the episode. Let me go back. Okay. So Becky and Jamal hook up. Becky's depressed. Jamal's depressed. But she was like, look, he plays her a new track. And she's like, look, you need to go on and make that a song. And he was like, well, Kai doesn't think. And she was like, see what I'm talking about? So everything is about Kai. And she ends up taking him to a school. And they do a concert at the little local, like, performing arts high school. That was cute. Whatever. I'm all over the place with this review because the episode was all over the place, so I'm sorry. Cookie and her sister make up. She shows up like, look, you hurt me, I hurt you. You said stuff, I said stuff, but at the end of the day, we still sisters, and they make up. That was a little too easy for me, but okay. But they were able to get the information that they needed to prove that Becky and Lucius are innocent. So he goes to his son and basically says, look, either you sign this press release clearing us of any wrongdoing, because they were being sued. They were being sued, and basically Cookie was like, if this lawsuit go through, we're done. Like, that's it. It's a wrap. And so they were able to get their name cleared and get Becky's name cleared and everything. And Cookie went to go visit White Tina. Come to find out, her sister, the one that used to be a crackhead, she knew White Tina. She said, I ain't know that her and Lucius had a thing, and I damn sure didn't know that was Lucius' child. But I knew we used to get high together. I said, this some bullshit right here. So she goes to visit her. And they get to talking, and basically she confirms what Lucius told her, that, you know, when you and Lucius hooked up, I was already pregnant. So there was no overlap. I was with Lucius first. He didn't cheat on you with me. He didn't know about the child. So that made, you know, Cookie feel better, I'm sure. But then they got to talking, and she was like, y'all did this to me. She was like, I ain't put that crack pipe, you know, she said, I ain't put that crack pipe in your hand. And, oh, shoot. She said, I didn't put that crack pipe in your hand. And she said, but you peddled it. You know what I mean? You justified selling crack. You justified being a drug dealer. And look at how your life turned out. Like your life didn't turn out any better than mine. Like I was strung out, yeah, but you in jail for 17 years. And at the end of the day, it was all over the same thing because of Lucius and drugs, like basically. And Cookie sort of took that to heart. And when they were having the press conference, basically announcing that Lucius was taking back over Empire and the Lions were back in charge of Empire, you saw Cookie flashing back to the different scenes of the drugs and them selling drugs and her sister being strung out and Jamal being strung out, and how drugs just really, you know, did a horrible thing in their life. You know what I mean? And she tried to take the mic and tried to speak about it, but Lucius sort of cut her off because she tried to get real deep. And Lucius was like, yeah, all right, we're going to have a party though, you know. But you see that Cookie, something just ain't really sitting right with Cookie. It's just that it ain't sitting right in her spirit, you know. And they have the party. I know they know how to put on a party, and they got all the acts coming out, and that's when Hakeem come out and he do his new song that they told him to do. They told him, you better do a banger. So he did his new banger. And they incorporated the hip hop ballet into his choreography and all that good stuff. Kai leaves. Now I'm at the right part of the show. Kai told Jamal, he was like, I ain't doing this. He said, dangling people out of windows and shit, that ain't who I am. He was like, and let's go. Like, why don't you come with me? Like, this not who you are either. Like, leave your family and come with me. And Jamal told him, Jamal said, look, I'm tired of apologizing for being who I am. He said, at the end of the day, that's my family. And I'm not going to keep apologizing for being a Lions and for loving my family. And he gives him his engagement ring back. So there's that. Now, I'm wondering if that's how they're going to write him. Because, you know, he's not in the last 2 episodes, according to what they said, that they wrote him out of the last 2 episodes. So I'm wondering if that's what they did. If they had him go after Kai so that they could, like, not necessarily kill his character, but have him be off the show. But we'll see. So then we see this scene with Lucius and with the love child, Patel. Isn't it Patel? And, you know, anyway, I ain't gonna get Lucius. Patel basically was like, you know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna win. You know, that he kept throwing these little hints out that he had a trump card on the Lions the whole episode. And what we found out the trump card is that he done hooked up something to the server so that he can permanently delete Lucius's masters. So at first, Lucius wasn't tripping. He was like, yeah, all right, whatever. You know, like, look, son, I didn't know about, you know, Lucius trying to give him the look, son, I didn't know about you. Let's get to know each other. Let's try to build our relationship. And the son was like, oh, you're not worried because you think that I don't know that you got a backup to the backup over in London. Because the hustler always got a private stash, right? And the minute he said London, then all of a sudden Lucius was like, whoa, what? The what? The woo? And he started deleting all of Lucius's songs. And with each song, he was like, oh, yeah, this song, yeah, it played at my high school prom. And imagine how I felt that all my friends were dancing to Lucius Lyons and I couldn't tell nobody that that's my father. Oh, this song, yeah, that was the day that song came out when social services came and took me away from my mother because she couldn't take care of me because she was strung out. Like, and at the end of the day, when they got done, Lucius said something to the effect of, you're not invisible. Why are you doing this? You're here. And he was like, no, I'm all erased now. And walked off. I said, oh boy. So Lucius' legacy has been erased. So he goes home and of course he's deflated, defeated. And Cookie's sitting on the couch. And Cookie starts basically letting him know, look, we justify being drug dealers. But at the end of the day, that's what we were. We were drug dealers. And if we could keep using all we want, that we had a legitimate reason to be drug dealers and that we were taking care of our family and all these other things. She said, but at the end of the day, that's what we were. We were drug dealers. And it's just not okay with me at this point. It just don't sit right with me. We and it goes back to what she was trying to say at the press conference about giving back and giving back to the people who supported them in the communities that they basically destroyed, And Lucius is like, what you talking about? So Lucius don't get it. But Cookie, you could tell that, like I said, you could tell Cookie just really is just not here for it. She's really like, I just can't do this anymore. And Lucius walks off. She was like, stop what you're going to do. You're just going to walk off instead of us trying to figure this out. And Lucius was like, you tripping. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You tripping. Ain't nothing to figure out, And then we see Andre with his girlfriend. And he introduced the girlfriend to Cookie. And Cookie was, happy to meet her and everything. Everything went well with that. But they're driving home and all of a sudden his nose starts running. And he starts losing consciousness. And so she's able to get the car pulled over, but she's calling 911. Because, we saw that in the flash forward that something is wrong with Andre. So we don't know what it is, but that's where the episode ended, with Andre's nose running and passed out on the side of the road and her calling 911. Cookie and Lucius arguing. Jamal at the piano singing a sob story because he missed Kai. Like, it's a mess. It's a mess. But they got Empire back. Let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments, please.